Here is your Golfer's Almanac for June 13th. Today is the birthday of Perry Maxwell, born Perry Duke Maxwell in 1879 in Princeton, Kentucky. He was a bank executive in his mid-30s when he built a few golf holes on a dairy farm he owned in Oklahoma. He kept evolving and expanding the holes and immersing himself deeper into golf course architecture. He traveled to the top golf courses in the United States and Scotland, as well as consulted with top architects of the day, C.B. Macdonald and Alistair McKinsey, in developing his own design philosophy. Maxwell was a minimalist, known for his large, undulating greens that used existing topography to create challenging holes. Maxwell rolls, as they were called. He created or touched so many classic golf courses from Southern Hills, Pine Valley, Augusta National, Crystal Downs, Marion, and Old Town Club in Winston-Salem. It's estimated that he designed more than 80 golf courses and remodeled 50 others. Also born on this day in 1988 in South Korea, In Kyung Kim, or IK Kim. She turned pro in 2006 and has won 7 times on the LPGA Tour. She had a tough break on the last hole of the 2012 Kraft Nabisco Championship, lipping out a 1-foot putt on the 18th hole to force a playoff with Sung Young Yoo, also from Korea. Yoo birdied the first extra hole for the win. Kim has won 4 times since then, including the Women's British Open in 2017 at Kingsbarn in Fife. Happy birthday, IK. Also on this day in 1963, Deb Richard was born in Abbeville, Louisiana. She won the Kansas State High School Golf Championship 3 years in a row, and then the Kansas Women's Amateur 2 years in a row. Still on a roll, she won the U.S. Amateur later that same summer at Broadmoor Country Club in Seattle, one up over Kimberly Williams. Richard played golf for the University of Florida Gators and won 7 collegiate tournaments. She was runner-up in the 1985 NCAA Women's Individual Championship. She turned pro in 1986 and won 5 times during her 20-year career on the LPGA Tour. Happy birthday, Deb. On this day in 1896, Harry Vardon won the Open Championship at Muirfield in a playoff against J.H. Taylor. They played a 36-hole playoff match, though it had to wait a day, as the two had entered another tournament at nearby North Berwick that next day. Taylor won at North Berwick, but was 4 shots behind Vardon in the Open Championship playoff. This was the first of 6 championships won by Vardon. This also marked the final Open Championship for old Tom Morris. He was 72 years and 360 days old, and remains the oldest known competitor in the Open Championship. In 1953, on this day, at Oakmont, Ben Hogan won the U.S. Open by 6 strokes over Sam Snead. This was Hogan's 4th U.S. Open, matching Willie Anderson and Bobby Jones, and then later Jack Nicklaus. Hogan won his 4 Opens over a 6-year period, though he only played in 5 of those Opens, missing the 1949 due to an automobile accident. Later that year, Hogan would win the British Open at Carnoustie, and since he won the Masters in April, he became the first golfer to win 3 professional majors in a single season, later matched only by Tiger Woods in 2000. Remember, the PGA Championship was played in Detroit and overlapped with the British Open by 2 days, so a Grand Slam for 1953 was not possible. On this day in 1993, Vijay Singh won for the first time on the PGA Tour, the Buick Classic at Westchester Country Club in New York. Singh made a birdie in the sudden death playoff with Mark Wiebe on the 3rd hole. Singh was 30 years old at the time and went on to win 34 PGA Tour events, including 22 while he was in his 40s. And on this day in 2004, at the 50th LPGA Championship at the DuPont Country Club in Delaware, the defending champion Annika Sorenstam won the second of what would be 3 consecutive LPGA championships by 3 strokes over Shi Hyun An. This was the 7th of Sorenstam's 10 career majors. And it was the last time the LPGA would be played at the DuPont Country Club. It moved to Buell Rock Country Club nearby. And on this day in 1986, Jim Ferrier died in Burbank, California. He was 71 years old. Ferrier was a top amateur in Australia in the 1930s, winning 10 open events, competing with professionals of the day. He was runner-up in the Amateur Championship in 1936 to Hector Thompson at St. Andrews, the best finish by an Australian to that point. In 1940, Ferrier moved to the United States, where his entry to the U.S. Amateur was rejected due to his work as a golf journalist for a Sydney newspaper. Fine. Ferrier turned pro in 1941 and won 18 times on the PGA Tour, including the PGA Championship in 1947 at Plum Hollow Country Club outside of Detroit. Ferrier was the first Australian to win a major championship. Rest in par, Jim Ferrier. Here's a quote today from Herb Kohler. The amazing thing about the old course at St. Andrews, people were playing golf there before they realized the world was round. That's it for today in golf history. Play fast, repair all the pitch marks you can find, and keep your golf ball in the short grass. Your Golfer's Almanac is a GolfToons production. It's written, produced, and narrated by me, Michael Duranko. I invite you to check out our original golf illustrations and the humor essays that accompany each of the golf cartoons. Tour Backspin is a weekly golf history newsletter that celebrates the PGA Tour in the 1960s and 70s with tie-ins to today's tour. They offer a bunch of content, contests, and other interesting bits. See the link in the show notes and subscribe.